Let's go. Next part of the adventure, ladies and gentlemen. This does have one of those things where, you know, if you beep, if you back up and you get close to it, it beeps. Let me see if I can. Yeah, see? Pretty cool, right? And that was like a tree, it was a bamboo tree. It wasn't more than 2 inches in diameter, quite frankly. So, now, again, the other reason I'm leaving right now is because there is no rain in the forecast for the next 5 or 6 hours, which I believe will allow me to easily get on a ferry. Maybe not the first one that I show up to, but absolutely will allow me to get to a ferry. And once I get over this, this is about a 2-inch bump there, and I'm gonna go low gear, and I'm gonna get a little bit of momentum for this next hill. And this flat area is gonna allow my 1.2 liter car to be wildly successful. I'm gonna get a little bit more momentum on this hill here, and I've got it floored, just so you know. So basically, and there's nobody coming, so we're good. I'm just gonna let this roll as I drive this way until it somehow just like falls off the dash. 17% grade, that's pretty substantial, right? I would say that that was probably what I just drove up, probably about a 15% grade or something like that. But yeah, I gotta hand it to the old little the little Toyota Yaris 1.2. I believe that's 4 cylinders. It might only be 3, I'm not sure. The other thing that I'm considering doing is staying in another resort up here that I saw online. However, as I just said that, for some reason I just have the feeling, desire, plan, internal plan to take the ferry back off Koh Lanta. And I definitely may come back here with Gracie, I'm not quite sure. I suppose this is a ride and walk, huh? As I'm driving through South Lanta, that I really like this part of it. And I also really appreciated the hospitality that I received at BAAN PHU LAE. So there you go. Let me see. I mean, there's a whole bunch of corners and there's a whole bunch. What's interesting about this area, I did want to point out, is the fact that this road, while arguably, you know, imperfect, it's in excellent condition, certainly in comparison to basically every other road I've been on in Koh Lanta. And by that I mean the ones that are basically north of here, between here and the ferry. A lot of them are asphalt, and for whatever reason, there are tons of holes and tons of dirt, and I'm not quite sure whether it's from runoff, whether it's from a recent storm or whatever, but once I got to this place, basically, once I got to South Lanta, yeah, the road isn't as wide, but I'm like, man, this is like, it's all like that, like right there, like there's like dirt frequently. Now that, from that, I get it. It was like runoff basically from the dirt road to the right, my right. Yeah, all of the road basically from sort of this South Lanta area all the way down to BAAN PHU LAE was like this, and so I'm like, oh, I could hang out here. Additionally, I vividly remember a 7-Eleven, which, ladies and gentlemen, is right here, and that's where I'm going to stop to get something to drink. So I will talk to you guys real shortly. So back on the boat, back on the car ferry, and yeah, I got a guy in front of me. He's got a couple of bird cages in the back, pretty nice. I feel like such a resident now that I have these mirrors that I can like automatic. Oh, sorry. I'm like showing people the mirrors. This poor lady like walks right into it as I'm opening. I didn't even see her. So, but she had a nice smile. A couple of kids back there as and they're like staring at me, and then I looked at them and smiled, and they got a huge smile on their face. I'm always honored by that. I don't know, I guess I'm different, you know? I mean, it's Koh Lanta. I mean, tons of tourists. But anyway, what I really wanted to show you was, remember how I talked about like the tugboats and stuff that were basically pushing this thing around? These things are critical. Like, I guess this barge basically, or this car ferry, I guess it probably only has like one rudder, or not one rudder rather, but you know, one engine, right? Single screw. And right on. Very cool. Those people taking their selfie. But anyway, it's just sort of interesting. I mean, it's like it's almost like a specialized tugboat. And there's the very you can maybe see it in the back, the very iconic Thai hook that I see on a lot of these things. Unfortunately, it's not perfectly chromed out, but in any case, I got the engine still running, and I have recirculation turned on for air conditioning. You know, I think pretty much every single car, well, there's a Mazda behind me, but the truck around me, basically, they're all diesel. And they've all got them on because they need to have the air conditioning, which, quite frankly, I don't think you need air conditioning right now. But since they have it on, then in order to not asphyxiate myself, I'm probably going to do the same thing and turn on recycling air. But anyway, yeah. So here's Tommy Tugboat over there, keeping us straight, and we'll probably take off here shortly. And if you recall from the last video, it takes about I don't know, probably about 15 minutes to cross. I had to wait in line, as it turns out, like in the street, right, just to get here. There's pretty much like it's a single lane. You come down the street and then you take a left, and the minute you take a left, you're pretty much on the road. And if you're not on that road to get on the ferry, you're pretty much on the wrong road. And there's some shops and stuff on both sides where you can, you can pull over and park and you know, buy some, you know, food or trinkets, quite frankly. But yeah, we're moving here, and I'll tell you, they do a again, it's a very weird feeling having the road under me move and me not move. That's sort of interesting. But yeah, so this guy basically, he's pushing us out to sea, and I assume he's like he's simply yeah, he's pushing us off, and then he's pretty much done, and then he goes back, and I guess he just waits for the next one. But maybe they just don't have like as good of a steering ability. I would think that they'd put twin screw on this thing, and then they could just totally you know, totally maneuver it, kind of thing. But you know, who knows? Maybe he does that specifically. I mean, obviously the engine and propeller are only going to be on one end. Maybe not, obviously. Maybe they've got one on each end, but who knows? Anyway, we are moving, and we are heading back over to the mainland. And then from there, I'm probably going to make the trek all the way. It's about 3.5 hour drive, effectively, to Phuket. I think I'm going to end up in Bang Tao tonight. For some reason, I'm in the mood to stay in Bang Tao. Tomorrow night, I have a room down in Karon Beach, because I love Karon Beach, and I love walking Karon Beach, and I love doing live streams from Karon Beach. So I'm going to do that. I've got a place that's like kind of like up in the hills a little bit, which simply means it's probably about 5 blocks east of the water, but it's on the hills, and it overlooks. Every room has a balcony, and every room has a view of the ocean. So I'm a big fan, and it was under 1,000 baht, so you know, free, right? So anyway, with that, it's Mike's from LiveMyAssOff.com saying I hope you're living the dream. And if you're not living the dream, then you know what you might want to do? You might want to have some proactive steps and seek out a car ferry and see if you can't get on one of those and just you know, commute that way. It's really kind of neat. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.